I'm Ben Robinson. I'm one of the founders of Kendal Calling Festival alongside Andy Smith. Run an outdoor music event in just out on the edges of the Lake District. We started, this will be our 8th year. We put it together basically as a reaction to the fact that there was a lot of people in the area who loved going to festivals, and we travel up to 2 hours to go to the likes of Leeds and otherwise. We pretty much figured there was a lot of good local talent, and it was about time some national touring bands took a trip into the Lake District. And 8 years on, here we are. Kendal Calling 2013, I think there's no debate for most people that the lineup this year is about as solid as we've ever had. Kendal Calling is absolutely not just about the lineup. You know, we have 12 stages, we have all sorts of music. You know, we've got a woodland stage this year, which is fully representative of Northwest talent. Got some really exciting acts on there. One to watch out for is the Mispers, maybe another one called the Feud. As well as that, we've got Tim Burgess from the Charlatans this year, coming back with the Charlatans, headlining this Saturday night at Kendal Calling, which I'm very excited about. He's become a close friend of the festival in the last couple of years, has run an area called Tim Peaks. It's a little bit of a spoof, as you might imagine, and it's a little bit of a cafe where he has lots of different friends and different poets and comedians and all sorts, performing to a really cosy crowd of about 100 people in an American-style diner. So there's lots going on at Kendal. You know, you can get lost. My favourite review of it last year basically said it was the equivalent to a festival TARDIS. It looks really small, it's a really quaint festival, but once you walk into it, you can get lost hopefully for days. What we really set out with Kendal Calling was, you know, to get people together in a field, get them away from the high street, away from the daily worries, get them together, you know, camped out. I mean, the Lake District is phenomenal and internationally renowned for being a beautiful place to camp. So, you know, it's bringing together that elements of things, bringing together that culture, bringing people together. And what we do at Kendal Calling is, you know, we were very frustrated by going to some bigger festivals when we were younger, and, you know, outside of the main stage, you've literally got a few burger vans selling you a really dodgy burger or a crap sausage, you know. And what we thought is, right, let's get some good cuisine, let's get some good caterers, some good stalls, and we do have world cuisine now on there. But the other main thing is the nooks and crannies, and what we really feel is, you know, when you go to a festival, it's not just about the bands that you watch on the stage. It's about that quirky little corner where you'll see something rather strange, you know, or a little nook in the woodlands where, you know, you might find a little climbing frame that, you know, has a little bit of art deco on the top. Or, you know, we've got this year, we've got the Happy Flat Boutique, and this year the theme for Kendal Calling is Kendal Calling Goes to the Movies. So off the back of that, when you get on site, you know, you'll see a lot of art, you'll see a lot of interactive stuff to do with different themed areas across the site, to do with different types of movies.
As you feel the festival looming, do you get a kind of more nervous feeling?
I get some butterflies, yeah, and I get a lot of, shall we say, nervous adrenaline, which, you know, it's 50-50 of, you know, it's nerves, and at the other end of it, it's excitement, you know, and you just got to kind of marry those things together and just kind of use that to kind of give you the energy really to make sure that right until those gates are open, until those gates are closed, that we've done absolutely everything that we can down to the last blade of grass, you know, and making sure that it's absolutely as perfect as it can be for the people that are coming.
Tell me about who came up with the fancy dress idea, because that's brilliant, isn't it? Everybody
it's
gets
good,
into that.
yeah, no, it's been really special. What actually happened is when we hit our fifth Kendal Calling on the Saturday, we decided to do birthday party theme and invited everyone to come in fancy dress, and we were just so bowled over by how amazing people did. You know, that it's actually become, in our minds, is one of the main artistic features of the site. You know, we can do a lot around the periphery, we can put some great tents, but if you've got, you know, the best part of 10,000 people all dressed up colourfully, that, you know, changes the very shape of the whole place. So we've had fun with the themes over the last couple of years. We had comic books and fairy tales last year, which brought out some really interesting characters. And as I say, this year the theme is Kendal Calling Goes to the Movies, so we're just kind of sitting with excitement in the office at what crazy fancy dress people come up with. The lineup this year, I mean, taking a look at the main stage on the Friday is going to be colossal. We got the absolute pleasure of having Public Enemy performing, which for me personally is just, you know, it's a huge honour to be able to bring a band like that to the corner of the world where I've grown up. You know, I read a lot of books about hip hop when I was growing up, and, you know, the really inspiring things those guys literally went out onto the doorsteps, got some sound systems, started making music, started, you know, creating things, started a buzz, and, you know, they got to where they got to. And, you know, I like to kind of poetically think we've done a similar thing in the Lake District. You know, we've gone, there's nothing going on here, let's grab some sound systems, let's do it for the right reasons. And, you know, the fact that Public Enemy will be coming over and playing some of the hits that they're, you know, that they've built their career on to that field is just fantastic. They'll be followed on the Friday night by Basement Jacks, which, you know, is another dream come true for a Friday night dance act with the colossal amount of hits that they've had over the years. You know, I think we all know what's going to happen when they play Where's Your Head At. There's going to be a lot of smiling faces, you know, and that's day one. Across the weekend we've got some great up and coming acts, you know, some people who've broken recently, the likes of I'm Cleat from Manchester, really fantastic. We've got Mike Skinner coming back to the fields, he's in the DJ set as well as performing in his new act DOT, which is a project he's done a lot with the lead singer from The Music, which is interesting, so that'll be main stage as well. On the Sunday we've got Mystery Jets, which should be good fun. We've got Codaline and Drenge, there's some really good up and coming acts. And then to finish the weekend on the main stage we've got Johnny Marr, which again it's a colossal, you know, just a colossal honour to have a, you know, a musical icon of that stature again popping into a field on our invitation to play some songs for our corner of the world. Following Johnny Marr we've got C6 Steve, who I've just seen on the Glastonbury coverage from last weekend, did an absolutely stellar set, and he'll be followed by my favourite band of all time, which is Primal Scream, so that'll probably see me quite happy. You know, there's not that many bands that have a 30-year career and still continue to put out, you know, the level of quality music that Primal Scream do.
So it's almost like a dream festival. You get to design your own.
When you put it like that, yeah, it's not exactly a dream to organise as much as people may think it is. When it comes off, you know, it's beautiful, and you know that's the reason we all kind of work absurd hours and, you know, put ourselves through the strains of the planning process and the booking process and everything else. But yeah, you know, we're all music lovers. We absolutely love going to gigs. We love that moment. You know, they're special times that you have in the summer with your friends in fields, listening to great music. You know, usually great music written about, you know, interesting and inspiring things. So you know, that's really, you know, what we're all about. And that's why we put the effort in. If you check out www.kendalcalling.com. You find all the details on there. The festival has sold out prior to opening its gates every single year, so if you want to go, there is time, but I'd move quickly.
Tell me how it's changed from when the early years to where you are now.
It's been a steep learning curve, shall we put it that way. In the early years, we would literally be a team of maybe 3 or 4 of us who would literally be doing every aspect of the festival. You know, from designing the site to putting the posters up, you know, flying people door to door, flying at gigs, and then right the way to on the ground, be there to answer any question from a customer to a contractor to an artist right across the site. As we've grown, you know, we've gone from 900 people in the first year. This year we're looking at the best part of 13,000 to 14,000 people will be at the event. We've got a lot more staff underneath us, so I guess personally my role has changed a lot into, you know, kind of making sure that all the different areas have got the right staff in place, they've got the right resources that they need, and the right support. I think from going to a lot of festivals and taking on feedback from what people say, and again going to Glastonbury quite recently, I think we do a very good job of having a really nice cross-section. One person did mention to me the other day, one of the things that he really thought was amazing about Kendal is you have everybody from, you know, 5-year-old kids to 50-year-old men wandering around having a good time together, and I can certainly vouch for that. I think it's the only time in probably the last 10 years that I've had my grandma, my brother, my mum and the whole family all in one place, all having a drink and a bit of a laugh. And we went for a walk around the site so I could show them around, and you know, I kind of noticed that actually everyone else on site was doing a very similar thing. You know, it's not for one specific demographic, you know, it really is all about a lot of people coming together. And I think in, you know, in modern culture, in the modern world, it's very, very few and far between that you'll find a situation like that. The other one is that we've got massive bands on small stages. So you can get right down the front and it's lovely, and the sound systems are really loud because you're not miles away from it. There's no delay towers, there's no need, you know, the stage is there, you know, and you can get a good view and an amazing sound.